What if death wasn't the end? What if it was only the beginning of something far more mysterious? A journey that takes you through darkness, into fire, past monsters, through judgment. And maybe, just maybe, into eternity. Over 3,000 years ago, the ancient Egyptians claimed to know what happens after we die. They documented it, preserved it, spoke of gods, trials, hidden gates, and terrifying truths. They called it the Book of Coming Forth by Day. We know it as the Book of the Dead. But is it just a myth? Or did they discover something real? Tonight we'll open that book, and once you hear what lies within, you might never look at death the same way again. Why were the ancient Egyptians so obsessed with death? They built pyramids taller than cathedrals, carved tombs deep underground, wrapped their dead in layers of linen and magic. But why? The truth is they didn't fear death. They studied it, prepared for it, obsessed over what came after. To them, death was not a tragedy. It was a crossing. And only those who understood the rules would survive. They believed that the soul broke apart after death. Pieces of your being scattered, your car, your bar, your shadow, your name. Only if you passed every trial could you be made whole again. And what waited at the end? A paradise, or something far, far worse. Imagine dying and waking up in darkness. Your body is still on earth, but your soul, it has already begun the journey. This is why mummification mattered. They believed your body had to remain whole, so the soul could return to it. But even more important was your guidebook, a scroll, sometimes hidden in your wrappings, filled with strange symbols, glowing spells, warnings and instructions. It's not a storybook, it's a manual, a survival kit for the soul. Each spell had a purpose. To breathe air in a realm with no oxygen, to pass gates that would kill the unworthy, to speak names no living tongue had ever said. Who wrote it? They claimed it was given by the gods. They called it the Duat, the realm of the dead. But don't picture clouds and angels. The Duat was a place of chaos, a desert of shadows, a labyrinth of rivers, blades and flames. Nothing stayed the same for long. One moment you were walking on sand, the next, sailing through stars. There were walls that whispered, eyes that watched, beasts that remembered your sins. To survive, you had to recite the right words at the right time, miss one syllable, and you'd be torn apart by serpents. Or worse, forgotten. Every hour in the Duat brought new terror, and you had no weapons, only your memory, your truth, and the book. After all that, you arrive at a grand hall. Torches burn with no flame. Statues breathe, and before you stands Osiris, ruler of the afterlife. In the center, a golden scale. On one side, a feather, on the other, your heart. You don't speak, you don't argue. Your life is already written in your heart. If it's heavier than the feather, that means you lied, cheated, killed, betrayed the balance. Waiting beside the scale is Amit. She is not merciful. She is not patient. She is the end. If she eats your heart, your soul disappears. No pain, no torture, just nothing. As if you never existed. But if you lived in truth, if your heart is light, you pass. But pass to what? You awaken in a field, not just any field, the field of reeds. It feels familiar. The air is perfect, the water is pure, the sky never burns. Here you are surrounded by everything you loved in life, but better. Your family, your friends, even your pets, they are waiting. No hunger, no war, no death. But there's something strange. Everything is still, too perfect. Some say paradise is a reward. Others say it's a trap. The ancient Egyptians believed you had to maintain paradise. Offerings, rituals, remembrance. Because the afterlife is not permanent. Not unless someone remembers your name. In the Egyptian afterlife, you are never alone. Anubis, with his jackal face, guides you in silence. He knows your fears, your regrets, but he never speaks of them. Thoth, the scribe of the gods, watches your judgment. He writes down your truth without mercy. Osiris, god of rebirth, sits on his throne, but he too was once murdered and brought back. He understands, and always, in every shadow, there is Mahat, not a goddess with a crown, but the very law of existence, truth, order, balance. If you break it, you break the world. The Book of the Dead contains spells we still don't fully understand. Some were meant to let the soul become light, or fire, or wind. Others could transform you into a falcon, a star, a lotus flower. One spell even erased your name from every enemy who ever spoke it. Another let you speak to the gods directly. Where did this knowledge come from? Was it poetry, religion, or something else? Modern scholars debate it, but the Egyptians, they believed it came from beyond the stars. We found these scrolls buried in tombs, hidden in coffins, carved on the walls of pyramids. They were meant to stay sealed forever. And yet, here we are, still reading them, still wondering. What did the ancient Egyptians truly know about death? Were they just dreamers, or did they experience something that we forgot? Their words echo across time. To speak the name of the dead is to make them live again. Perhaps that is their greatest spell of all. What if death isn't silence, but story? What if it's not an end, but a doorway? The Egyptians believed that those who die are only truly gone when we forget their name. But as long as we tell their tales, as long as we wonder what lies beyond, they're still with us. Thank you for walking this path through the afterlife. If this journey sparked something in you, curiosity, wonder, questions, leave a like, subscribe, and share this with someone who still believes. There might be more. The veil is thin. See you on the other side. If you enjoyed this video, do consider subscribe for more stories here at Mind's Twilight.